Cristiano, Falcao, Messi. This is the Golden 11. Maybe the best team in football history. And we have it here, playing in the best football league in the world, the Spanish League. The Serie A is on beIN Sport. Inter lost the compass. Sunk in its own doubts, they didn't get a win in the last 3 games. They must turn it around immediately. The next rival will be Pescara, who has won 2 games in a row and has moved away from the bottom of the standings. Inter Pescara, today, only on beIN Sport.
Many of the fans have gone home. Others are out to get a drink and a snack. We're still with you. Gino Fuentes and Andres Cordero joining you. Venezuela up 1-0, and you can't blame the Argentinians for being unhappy. It's not going very well for the host nation.
And you mentioned the host nation. We've mentioned it a couple of times in the first half. Still winless in this tournament, although they did put up a fight against Paraguay in their second match in Group A. As the hosts trying to get in the win column here, they dropped their first encounter 1-0 to a 9-man Chile. And it was a number of shots going back and forth. And eventually, it would be Argentina to get the first score of the match, as that one handled well by the keeper in net for Paraguay. Chance after chance, and finally breaking through here is Luciano Vieto over the goalkeeper's head and in. Unable to keep it out is Diego Morel. And at this point, you were thinking that maybe Argentina had woken up, maybe things would change. Centurion providing the assist on that one. But as the match would progress, things would begin to tilt in the other direction. Argentina still pounding Paraguay at the end of the first half, trying to impose their will. Try as they might, they couldn't get that second goal. Finally, Paraguay started to get their own chances. This one clanging off the post, a lucky break for Walter Benitez, who was able to keep it out. But the luck would not carry him through the rest of the match. There is the shot again. As Montenegro having a pop, Brian Montenegro. He'd have another chance here. This one sent across the area, and finally one would go in. Derlis Gonzalez scoring for Paraguay. That coming in the 61st minute, and it wouldn't be long before Paraguay got their second, tying it up at this point. This was bad enough for Argentine fans, not wanting to draw, but it would only get worse. This one, a header on net, but again, Morel able to make the save. Romero sending it in to Vieto, who was looking for his second goal of the match, but he couldn't score. And very much like before, going the other way, the breakaway, and a beautiful, beautiful goal by Cecilio Dominguez, giving Paraguay the win. Ivan Ramirez on the assist. Paraguay comes out on top. They take all 3 points, sending Argentina all the way down to 4th place in the group. Only Bolivia doing worse than them at this point. Paraguay would threaten again for the rest of the match, chance after chance. Amazing, really, that they didn't score again after that. Walter Benitez able to keep this one out. Derlis Gonzalez having another shot. Argentina would have one final chance at the end, but Morel tapping it up and over the net. And in the end, it was Victor Hennes's side getting the victory. And look at Group A, Chile on top at the moment, 6 points. A 3-point lead over Colombia and Paraguay, who are in 2nd and 3rd place respectively. Bolivia and Argentina still yet to get a point. Argentina in 4th place. They would not move on if this tournament ended after 2 rounds, but they have some time to get back into the swing of things. Chile right now with a win advantage over both Colombia and Paraguay. We're back here at the Bicentenario Stadium, a 1-0 halftime score. Venezuela getting the jump on Ecuador. Joseph Martinez with a blockbuster blast to get us where we are right now.
And it's been the accuracy of the passing that's lacking for the Ecuadorians. They did manage to pick it up toward the end of the break, or the first half. Before the break, did seem to be an ascension. Venezuela with the early chances really created more danger than the Ecuadorians. The Ecuadorians had more shots on goal, but the shots very easy for the most part for Jose Contreras. The number of shots 4 of them in total. Don't really tell the story of what Jose Contreras has had to deal with in goal, though he did make 2 brilliant kick saves, one on a shot from Uchuari, one from Jacob Murillo. Venezuela making their way out. They have very, very good reasons to be optimistic.
Good look at the captain there, Mr. Joseph Martinez, author of the only goal of the competition thus far, or rather of this match thus far. That turnaround shot way back in the 28th minute of play. Seems like so long ago now. As Vinotinto come back out onto the pitch. Marco Matias' side doing rather well here after 45 minutes of play. Ecuador stuck in neutral after that first match with Brazil. Thought that they would keep coming for the rest of the competition, but maybe a little bit of fatigue. They played just 2 days ago, and that will be the story for Venezuela from here on out. They did get that first round bye, but it's only going to get worse from here on out.
And 2 players, Jose Ceballos and Miguel Parrales, who were instrumental against the Brazilians, haven't really showed up through the first 45 minutes. Uchuari has been there. He's been carrying the team in some ways.
So we're back underway here, second half from the Bicentenario Stadium. Teams switching sides at the halftime break. Venezuela now moving from left to right on your screen in the Vinotinto uniforms. Ecuador moving right to left in their yellow tops, blue shorts, and red socks. I am Gino Fuentes alongside Andres Cordero. You are watching beIN Sports coverage of the South American Youth Championships, the Sudamericano Sub-20 on beIN Sport.
And one player I really liked in that first half was Robert Garces for Venezuela. Doesn't do the stuff that shows up on the stat sheet, but very, very good work in midfield. He was the destroyer of the Ecuadorian attack, and part of the reason why Ecuador failed to really control the ball in midfield. Garces was everywhere.
Ecuador in early possession here to start out the second half. Trying to get things going. Let's see if a halftime talk from their coach Julio Cesar Rosero will change things up here. To the midfield now. Venezuela working it up the left-hand side. Cifuentes gets it forward.
And Gino, no substitutions for either side. For Ecuador, it's still Darwin Cuero in goal. A backline of Velasco, Leon, Ordóñez, and Ramirez. In midfield, it's Uchuari, Grueso, Corozo, and Murillo. And up top, it's Jose Ceballos and Miguel Parrales. I'll tell you Venezuela's as well. Jose Contreras is in goal. The backline, Terán, Ángel Peraza, and Cifuentes. Garces, who I mentioned, is in midfield alongside Jose Peraza, the brother of Edwin Peraza. Joseph Martinez, Renzo Zambrano, and up top, Manuel Arteaga and Darwin Machis for the Vinotinto.
It's been played out to the wing now as Venezuela trying to work that left side, getting it forward rather quickly, back into the box now. Out to the other side for Uchuari. But he goes to collect. Corozo. See Velasco getting involved here as well. Velasco gets it into the middle now. Grueso switches it to the other flank. Ramirez sends it in, a header, but this one unable to be directed toward the net and will go out for a goal kick.
Maybe Ecuador can come out with a bit more intensity. We do see more determination in the early going than what they had at the start of the game, but this is the way they finished out the first half. Pressing an attack, looking for that equalizer. We've got a lot of work ahead of them.
You can bet Julio Cesar Rosero is looking on, seeing what substitutions he has to make. By now, his regular first team has gone through quite a bit of soccer. A full match and a half. This one sent out to the wing. Ramirez. Crowded. Drops it back into the midfield for Grueso. Grueso sends it forward. Looking for headers. Long balls into the box here, Ecuador. At least in the early going in the second half. And that's going to be a foul. That's going to go the way of Ecuador. That's going to set up a free kick in a very good spot.
Miguel Ángel playing with fire there. The contact, some very light contact, but made it first right at the edge of the area. He commits the foul just outside of it, but very close to the danger zone. And one of the veterans on this Venezuelan team, Miguel Ángel. He is the starting center back for Venezuelan top flight club, Deportivo Táchira. He's also played in this competition. Mentioned one of the 2 players that have played in this tournament before for Venezuela, Miguel Ángel. The other is Joseph Martinez.
So Jacob Murillo sizing up the free kick here for Latri. Also see on the ball is Luis Bermeo. He's going to shoot it. This one clangs into the wall, though. 4-man wall. 50th minute of play here. Bicentenario. Venezuela got loose on attack there, but slowed it down. Went the other way, but looks like it will go right back to the Vinotinto here. An errant pass down the near sideline by Grueso. Again out of play. This will again be a throw-in for the Vinotinto.
Starting to see a bit higher pressure from Ecuador now, not just sitting back in midfield waiting for Venezuela to come to them, but instead trying to put a little pressure on that Venezuelan backline when they're in possession of the ball. Maybe they can get a quick turnover.
Darwin Guerrera now getting into the midfield. Good job in regaining possession, though, for Venezuela. Look to be the more aware of the two sides here in this one. Again, sent forward, just over 50 minutes gone now. Ecuador regaining possession, trying to work the right side. Taken away yet again, though, by Venezuela. Into the midfield, Zambrano gets it back. Up the right-hand side now. And falls right back into the possession of Ecuador. Back and forth we go here, though. Neither team able to really keep possession at this point. Sort of just going back and forth. A chance here over the top, though, for Ecuador. Let's see if Ushuaia can do something with this. Gets into the box, steps over, tries to chip it back in, but it goes right into the arms of Jose Contreras. Referee says it went over the end line, though. So Raul Orozco will bring it back.
It's the second time Ushuaia mishits a ball. Very early on in the first half, took a right-footed cross from the other side that very errant, went just past the byline. Losing this match could be potentially devastating for the Ecuadorians. You think about the sensations, the feelings they had after holding the three-time defending champions to a 1-1 draw in a match they probably should have won. Only got a point out of it, though, so at the end of the day, at the number, it's just 1 point. And losing to Venezuela here, a match that they would expect to win, would leave them in dire straits going into their third match in Group B.
Ecuador now trying to hurry up and attack instead, but also brings it back into the midfield. Sends it across the field for Ushuaia. That seems to be the focal point of the Ecuadorian attack here. Up the flank. Sent back in by Ramirez. Venezuela, though, trying to regain possession. Ushuaia goes back to try and regain possession. Can't quite get it done, though. And the Vinotinto are back on the ball. Murillo has it taken away again. And again, that's the story of the early going here in the second half. Neither side able to really maintain possession thus far, more than a few touches. Ramirez.
Ecuador almost playing with three at the back now as Ramirez is very high up, leaving Velasco, Leon, and Ordóñez to work on a three-man back line. Sending men forward is Julio Cesar Rosero in search of that potential equalizer. And the feelings would be absolutely reversed after drawing against Brazil. If you drop all 3 points here against Venezuela, well, then you start to worry about potentially not making it into the next stage. And of course, that is the goal for all teams, because you don't have to win this competition. Winning might be for bragging rights, but you just have to finish in the top 4 of that final group stage and earn a spot in the Under-20 World Cup.
Played for Zambrano. Ends up being foul, though. See if we can get another look at it. Puts his arm across the chest of Ramirez. By the way, the 8th foul of the match against Venezuela. Goes all the way to the other side. Jose Contreras sends it forward again. And again, Ecuador back in defense. A good job, particularly by Anderson Ordóñez. Back into the midfield. No foul call by the official.
It is still a four-man backline, and they have been very organized, Ecuador, despite giving up that goal. It was a wonder goal by José Martinez. Really been very good tactically in defense. Venezuela have not gotten off very many shots against Darwin Cuero. Certainly no comfortable shots, and just as I say that, a little too unselfish from Manuel Arteaga. He had the entirety of the goal to choose from. Instead, just tries to square a ball.
I have to be wondering what Rosero might do in terms of substitutions going forward for Ecuador. Last match, first player he brought on was Lly ESTERILLA. ESTERILLA playing for Santos Laguna in the Mexican League. Was able to help the offense out a little bit when he came on. Wonder if he might be brought on again here. Sent out to the flank again. Venezuela choosing to build from the left now. A good job in defense, crowding around the ball by Ecuador. Have it back, and Venezuela has to play the safe ball all the way back to Contreras one more time. Another throw in along the far sideline for Latri. Ecuador.
10 minutes into the second stanza, it has been a completely different half from the opening half. Venezuela now just sitting back a little bit more and absorbing the pressure rather than driving the pace of the game.
Ecuador now seem to have Venezuela in a position where they are comfortable, surrounding the box, trying to maintain possession, trying to get around that edge. Almost do that time. Velasco not happy with the call. Down on the ground is Cifuentes. Here's the play again. Cifuentes goes down. Velasco falls on top of him. An argument to be made there for possible penalty.
No, I didn't see it. Goes after the ball. The contact is not excessive. Very light contact, really.
Looks like we'll have our first change of the match. Jose Ceballos. Nope, not coming off. Sent in from the far side into the box. But Tinto able to clear it away. And a chance here. They can bring it under control, but a good job in defense that time by Cardoso to poke it out of play. Give his team a chance to set up in defense. Zambrano was on a breakaway there.
It's a great run by Renzo ZAMBRANO, and his first touch was excellent to get himself out in front of his defender, and the ball just being poked away.
So we'll have a corner here for Venezuela. This will be their second corner of the match. Look there at Edwin Peraza and Arteaga. This one will be sent in by Peraza, Jose Peraza. Put it up though, Ecuador gradually getting out of the area.
There's no surprise there. They were looking for José Martinez.
And a chance here for Velasco to get up the field. Pedro Velasco, lots of room in front of him. Gonna send a shot in though, deflects off one of the defenders for Venezuela. And turning it around as quickly as they can with Vino Tinto. Up the right-hand side again, this time looking for Arteaga. Arteaga putting pressure on the keeper and almost gets there. Darwin Cuero has to hurry up and get it away to his defense. Lly ESTERILLA does come in. So the first substitution of the match is the same as the last time. Nothing changing here in the early going for Julio Cesar Rosero. going about it very much the same way he went at Brazil. And Schwadi taken out from behind there.
Not a good match for Jose Ceballos. Not a big surprise that he's the first player to come off. He was much more involved against Brazil than he was tonight against Ecuador. Jacob Murillo has also not been quite as involved. Really, in terms of attacking midfield play, it's been mostly Johnny Uchwadi, but not a whole lot else.
So the Santos Laguna player, Lly ESTERILLA, comes onto the pitch for Ecuador. This one sent to the far side of the box. A good job at picking it out of the sky by Jose Contreras. And an elbow from behind is called. Foul. Velasco. Still no one into the book in this one. Although that one
might have been reason for it. It's a strong shoulder charge into the back of Darwin Machis.
So Venezuela, an hour into the contest now, will have a free kick here. Searching for a second goal to really put Ecuador in some trouble.
What does Martinez have in store here?
He's one up, this one on the right-hand side. Clash of players there, leads to a foul. Ecuador regain possession as Terán barreling forward trying to make something happen.
Absolutely love the idea, though. Play it short to Joseph Martinez, draw the defense in, and have Terán making that sneaky ninja run to the back post. The service almost on point, but just cut out at the very last minute. Nicely executed free kick for Venezuela.
Flank now for Eddie Corozo. Given away, though. Venezuela back on the ball. In truth, they look the better of the two sides out there today. Ecuador just haven't gotten it going like they did against Brazil. Another foul is called here on the near sideline. Ecuador, a quick restart.
Not so sure about this second half, though. I think the match in total is taking a bit of a turn for the worse, but Ecuador, the more aggressive side in the second half, as they seek out that equalizer. And Venezuela may be trying not to risk too much, just trying to be organized in defense. Got 3 points in the pocket.
Velasco struggling to keep possession of the ball there on the far sideline. Velasco very heavily involved in the action. Machis trying to get the ball away from him there. Machis ends up getting called for the foul. He's going to set up a free kick here. We're going to take 8 yards from the end line off to the far side of the pitch. Jacob Murillo looks like he'll be the one to take it. Murillo sends it into the box. Now again brought down by Jose Contreras, who high points the ball, comes down with it. Looks to be in some discomfort, though. He goes down, grabs his hamstring. That's not a good sign. Contreras has been very good here in the opening 62 minutes. Here it is again. See, he goes up. When he comes down, his leg had straightened out. Bit of a hyperextension there.
This could be a blow to Venezuela. Contreras has put in very good work.
So in comes number 7, Hernandez. Zambrano, and will bring his night to a close. A few interesting runs, but nothing really coming of them. Zambrano. Onto the pitch comes Robert Hernandez, 18 years of age. This is football at Deportivo Anzoátegui.
In case Jose Contreras cannot continue, Venezuela do have 2 goalkeepers on the bench. Eduardo Herrera, a 19-year-old for Atlético El Vejia in Venezuela. Oh, it looks like it's a moot point as Contreras is able to go on.
Must have brought out that magic spray that heals all. And so the keeper will get the ball back, fair play. And Contreras will send this one back into play.
2 substitutions left for each manager. Julio Cesar Rosero and Marcos Matias have each made 1 change. Jose Ceballos coming off in the second half, making way for Lly ESTERILLA. Well, for the Vino Tinto, Marcos Matias choosing to bring on Hernandez in place of Zambrano.
Here's that last play again. Anderson Ordonez called for the foul.
Very slow second half for both sides. It's
a lot of walking on the pitch right now.
Yep, getting a bit late. It's hot. Legs are feeling a little heavy, but no excuses. These are young players. This is an important competition, and it's the debut for Venezuela.
Martinez sends this one to the far post, but it's up and over the head of everyone. Goes harmlessly out of play. Darwin MACHIS will send this one back into the fray for Ecuador. And you expect maybe a bit of tired legs from Ecuador, this being their second match in 3 days. Venezuela, though, running out of gas. At least the eye test would tell you that they're running out of gas here in the second half.
I don't know. I think they're really just preserving the result in a way, not trying to risk quite as much. They've absorbed everything Ecuador's given to them in this second half, and hasn't really troubled them too much. No clear shots against Jose Contreras. Not a lot of work for either goalkeeper in the second half, so Venezuela, they want to just keep their shape, make sure they don't get caught out on a counterattack.
Now, we know it's a bit of a risky thing when you start sending people forward with a 1-0 lead, but maybe just as risky to just hold back and let Ecuador keep coming at you like this. They've already displayed the ability to score against Brazil. Venezuela now. And the theme of this second half really has been both teams really struggling to put 3 to 4 passes together. You see 1 or 2 touches. We saw one run of play where Ecuador did control the ball for a little bit. They started to surround the area of Venezuela. But that was only that one time. For the most part, the second half has been pass, turnover. Both sides, really.
It's a good run by Cristian Ramirez.
Shot on net. This one just a bit wide, though. Cristian Ramirez.
And Ramirez has an option to his left, decides he's going to take that crease down the middle. It's not a bad idea to slap that left-footed shot in, but lack of accuracy has been bugging Ecuador all day. Unable to test Contreras.
And by the way, Ecuador's 5th shot of the match. Venezuela just won, but it was a golden shot. Another chance here for Martinez. Martinez has a swing. This one goes up and over the net, does not threaten the goal. And again, Darwin MACHIS will put it back into play, but Joseph Martinez, definitely the most influential player going forward for Venezuela thus far. We've seen them trying to get Arteaga and Machis involved, but Joseph Martinez is the one that stands out when he's on.
Hasn't been on the ball quite as much in this second half, and surprising for Ecuador, the most offensive man for much of the game has been the left back, Cristian Ramirez.
And a shot there. That one nowhere near its target, though. Another shot for Ecuador. That makes 6 now.
Contreras not happy that there was no one around Grosso. He's just allowed to take this shot. A little slow closing down was Jose Peraza.
I mentioned Jose Peraza's holding midfield mate Robert Garces in the middle of the match. Both of those 2 players playing very well in the middle for Venezuela in this one. Really controlled Ecuador. And along with the defense, it's Contreras. Send this one back into play one more time. Headed on, a chance here. Venezuela, see if they can hurry. That one put out of play, though. Luis Bermeo getting back. Good defending, putting that one into safety.
It's the first time Hernandez gets involved in the attack, just onto the pitch in place of Zambrano. That's a very, very neat little flick by Manuel Arteaga to free up Hernandez. He could have tried to slot it into a near post himself, instead plays the back pass into the heart of the area, and it gets cut out.
So a corner kick here for Venezuela will be their 3rd of the match. It's going to be sent in by Jose Peraza. Far post, maybe a bit too far. And that appears to be the case, although Venezuela is still in possession, sent right back into the area. This one almost meets the head of Machis, or rather, Edwin Peraza had gotten into the area. Here's the first cross. As I mentioned, a bit too long, sent right back in though.
But look at the work from Joseph Martinez. That one touch is perfect to set himself up, and this is a pinpoint cross as he's looking for Edwin Peraza inside the area. Another corner kick for the Vino Tinto.
Big center back Edwin Peraza getting into the area, trying to get in on the corner kick situation. Darwin Cuero gets up, elevates, and brings that one down. Gets it right back into play though. Back, and Venezuela easily able to come away with this one. Although carelessly flung back into the midfield where Ecuador get possession back. One change made by each coach thus far. Lly ESTERILLA coming on for Jose Ceballos. Renzo ZAMBRANO's night coming in to an end more recently. Robert Hernandez now on the pitch for Venezuela.
Watch how this goes right back to Cristian. Ramirez has been so involved down that left flank.
Ushwari now, a little less involved in the last 20 minutes or so. This one brought down by the keeper once again, Jose Contreras. Very steady in net thus far for Venezuela. So Leonardo Terán is down right now. His keeper tending to him. Looks like it might be just cramps though. See if we can get a look at how he went down.
I don't think there was any contact. I think it's like you said, I think he's just cramping up just a little bit. 20 minutes left in this one. Venezuela still up a goal to nil. Joseph Martinez hasn't been as involved in the second half, but when he does touch the ball, he can produce magic. That was an excellent cross just moments ago, looking for Edwin Peraza. In terms of talent, he might just be the best player on the pitch.
So Ecuador looking to inbound here. They finally do. Cristian Ramirez.
I like the spirit of this Ecuadorian side. They've not given up. They are looking for that equalizer. They have pushed the issue since the break, even leading up to the break. Say they went into halftime full of confidence.
Headed on here. Another foul brings play to a halt. It's going to stay with Venezuela though. Get another look at Joseph Martinez. Venezuela will get a free kick chance here. Doesn't look like the intent is to play it long, although pulling it back now is Garces. He may look to send this one long after all. He does, sends it toward the box. But headed away by Ecuador. Fancy footwork there to keep possession for Latri. On the left-hand side, Ushwari giving chase. Oof. Nice little shoulder to keep him away by Bermeo.
Hasn't been a lot of work for Angel or Peraza on the defensive end. Venezuela doing a very good job just controlling the Ecuadorian attack. And Contreras has made two very nice saves, but a relatively comfortable evening.
Vino Tinto now. Once again, an attack. We invite you to check out our website, www.beinsporttv. Also, check us out on Twitter, both English and Spanish. Both handles appearing on the bottom of your screen. You're watching beIN Sports coverage of the South American Youth Championships from Argentina, Sudamericano, under 20. Venezuela with a 1-0 lead on the first half goal by Joseph Martinez. Fuentes here alongside Andres Cordero. Group B action here. Group A resumes tomorrow on beIN Sport. This one's sent wide.
There's a substitution on the way for Ecuador, and Julio Cesar Rosero bringing off Jacob Murillo. The man coming on is number 17, Junior Sornosa, plays for Independiente Jose Teran in Venezuela. 4 players from that club on this squad. The others Cristian Oña, Cristian Ramirez, who's seen plenty of action today, and Luis Leon, who's also been very involved. There's the 16-year-old, who has not been quite as involved, Miguel Parrales.
Free kick chance here for Ecuador. And immediately pushed into forward, into service, is Junior Sornosa. He'll be taking this free kick. Get a look at Jose Contreras there, directing traffic in front of him.
There's one substitution left for Julio Cesar Rosero as his side trail 1-0.
2 for Venezuela. Thought Leonardo Teran might be coming off. Appears to be all right. And so here it is. Sornosa sends that one right into the wall, though. Ecuador stay in possession. Velasco get it up the right-hand side. Makes it all the way to the end line, but is brought down from behind, or at least it appeared so. No call by the official, though.
Oh, and the linesman's right there to see it. He signals very quickly to the corner spot. Just in perfect position. It appears it was all ball.
Back out to the wing. Velasco. Off by Bonmeo.
Poor return pass by Leon. Trying to play the give and go. Look at this.
Venezuela with another chance here. Cuts inside. Dead to rights if he gets it right, but he does not. Deflected away. Ecuador had nothing to worry about in the end. But another chance for Venezuela. And that one could have been costly if Ecuador had given it up. See Machis breaking free. In the end, his shot is deflected. Good job in defense by Ecuador. See if we can see who gets down. It is Ramirez who deflects it out of play.
It's an excellent recovery after leaving some gaps there defensively. Darwin Machis had stars in his eyes when he cut inside into the heart of the area.
One sent to the far post, headed on! Headed off of the goal line by the defender, though. Good job in defense by Ecuador. There he is again, Cristian Ramirez.
He's done a little bit of everything today, Ramirez. He goes forward, sends crosses, has had a few shots of his own. It makes 2 absolutely crucial saves here in the fight in the last 2 minutes to deny Darwin Machis. And on what looked to be an absolute goal chance. Take a look. Darwin Cuero, foot planted. Ramirez is in just a perfect spot to keep it out.
Very good game for Ramirez, the left back, playing very well for Ecuador.
The most complete game of any of the Ecuadorian players. You can make an argument for Johnny Uchuati, but Ramirez, here is Uchuati, who will link up with Ramirez.
That left side is definitely the strong point for Ecuador today, both in attack and in defense. They'd like to get a goal, though. Still trailing 1-0. And Joseph Martinez blast from Venezuela. And forward. Out of play once again. Down to the last 12 minutes of regulation time here. Second go-round in Group B for Ecuador. Venezuela's opening match of the tournament. Took a good start off for Marco Matias' men. Ecuador to inbound on this near sideline.
Well, it hasn't been a good showing for the Ecuadorians, but they have 12 minutes left to try and get a result out of this match. A point would bring them to 2 points. That's not bad work considering they opened up against Brazil. Now taking on a very good Venezuela side.
Back into the area, off the head of the defender. Tinto doing a good job of getting that out of play again, and that's been the story throughout the match. Ecuador just unable to get into that box. All of their shots most part, have been from outside the area.
Long throwing by Ramirez as well. Venezuela trying to qualify for their second trip to the Under-20 World Cup. Made it to Egypt 2009 under the current senior national team manager, Cesar Farias. Farias again in Argentina, lending his support to this squad, led by Marco Matias. Ecuador trying to reach the Under-20 World Cup for the third time in their history. They made it in 2001 and 2011. 2011 under Sixto Bisuete. Got past the group stage into the last 16 where they were eliminated by France. They have some work ahead of them if they want to make it back to the Under-20 World Cup. It's not been a good showing the first 80 minutes of the 2013 edition.
Tenon inbounds. Cramping up earlier, seems to be all right now. Hernandez applying pressure to Ramirez. And finally the official halts play, although Hernandez wondering what he did, and I have to wonder the same thing. As far as I can tell, all he did was put his hand on his shoulder. 10 minutes to go here in regulation time. Ecuador trying to get a goal here before their time is up. And a chance here. Let's see if they can make something of it. Morales gets it off to the wing. Drop back into the midfield for Corozo. Out to the right side, the left side, excuse me, for Ushwari. Ushwari hesitated and ends up giving it away in the process. Let's see if Venezuela can take advantage of this. Joseph Martinez secures possession, but may have brought the run to an end. He is bundled over at the center circle.
Yeah, Ushwari doesn't get the shot off. He plays it, cuts into the inside and plays it just out in front of him. He's closed down by a second defender, and that brief moment of hesitation costs him a chance to perhaps tie things up with 10 minutes left.
17-on-17 violence there. Joseph Martinez trying to get possession. Ends up being brought down by Junior Sonosa. Sonosa, most recent substitution. Venezuela still with 2 subs remaining.
He does have 2 forwards. He can call on Julio Cesar Rosero. On the bench, Angel Ledesma, 19-year-old from Club Social Deportivo Macará, and Jose Gutierrez, Liga de Quito.
Sent into the box. Does get a header on it, but goes out of play. Rather harmless. Arteaga, haven't seen much from him in this encounter. Only recently has he begun deflecting headers on the cross, but haven't seen much of him at all. Seen a little bit more from Darwin Machis going forward. But again, the main cog in the attack for Venezuela going forward has been Joseph Martinez, the team captain.
Machis has been more involved in his second half, but in the first half it was Manuel Arteaga linking up with Joseph Martinez when Venezuela were at their best. It's got to be said, they've not been at their best in the second half.
Both sides really slowing it down here in the second half. Not much to speak of. You can see Ecuador trying to make things happen. I don't know whether they don't have the right gear or just being well defended by Venezuela. Chance there, shot on net, gets it away. Ushwari, not sure how he got that one off, but once again, Jose Contreras there to make the save.
Ushwari has been their biggest threat when it comes to shooting. It's the 3rd time he puts a shot on frame, and this one, left-footed, turning, back the other way now.
Joseph Martinez fires. Wrong angle, though, ends up smashing into the side net, getting up slowly. Here it is again. See the long ball from the goalkeeper, headed on again. I wonder if that was Arteaga again. He had the header the last time they did something similar. Joseph Martinez unable to get the shot on target, though.
Good recovery by Luis Fernando Leon, who does very badly to allow Joseph Martinez to get out in front of him. He puts his body to him. The diving tackle does manage to make him just uncomfortable enough to send the shot off target.
The right-hand side now. Luis Leon drops it back.
It's now or never for Ecuador. Really don't have time to diddy down back here with the ball.
Got to take some chances eventually. At the last 6 minutes and change of regulation time, a foul is called here. Ecuador with a chance at a free kick. See if they can take advantage here, dropping back into defense is Luca Rangel. Ecuador just can't seem to keep possession, though. Surprised to actually keep this one. Uchuari inbounds rather quickly. Getting up and getting back into position is Robert Garces. Chance here for Sornosa. Sornosa fires just wide of the net. Jose Contreras turns around and gives his defenders an earful.
It's a neat little pass from Uchuari, who picks out Sornosa in the middle of the field, cuts it onto his left foot. It's not a bad effort. Just had to readjust the scope a little bit. The shot just wide of the mark from the substitute.
A little over 5 minutes remaining now.
Ecuador has been knocking on the door, but the door's been barred.
Separating the players. Just come to the realization we have yet to get a card in this entire match, and you can see why he had to come separate these guys. Tangled up like a pretzel there.
Daga may have gotten away with a back heel kick to the face.
Guerra looks to be making his way on. Gilbert Guerra, 19 years of age. FC, where he plays his ball.
A very good day's work for Joseph Martinez, who comes off the captain. Scored an incredible goal, one of the goals of the competition. One of the better ones, may have just been the best one. And it's the difference, could be a game winner. The importance cannot be understated.
Without a doubt, making it onto a few highlight reels. A chance here, Ecuador, this one fired on net. Contreras able to keep it from going out over the end line. We coast into the 87th minute.
Spent a lot less time on the ball in the second half to Joseph Martinez, but Ecuador's possession is definitely, or rather Venezuela's possession is definitely dipped. In the first half, he was doing a bit of everything. Coming all the way back into deep midfield to recover. Was Italian trequartista role.
Uchuari again getting a chance at the ball, ends up being shoved off though. A couple of fouls back to back. Let's see which one counts. And there's your first yellow card of the match. Raul Orozco puts Cristian Ramirez into the book. So Uchuari taken down. Ramirez chooses to go into his enforcer role. Ends up picking up the only card of the match to this point. And again, there's the foul on Uchuari. And then, well, maybe a bit of a soft foul, some simulation. Either way, Ecuador will have a free kick, and
one of the forwards that I mentioned is coming onto the field. Angel Ledesma coming on for the Ecuadorian attack. So they throw everything forward now.
Right at the fists of Jose Contreras. Fed back in. One more time, Sornosa falls for Cristian Ramirez. Deflected, popped up into the air. Velasco tries to get it to one of his teammates, but it's again cleared out by the Vinotinto. Still no word on who came off for Ledesma. So Eddie Corozo coming off. 2 minutes to go now in regulation time. Venezuela need only to hold on to this lead to secure 3 points. Get off to the best possible start in this competition. Those 3 points would vault them into second place in Group B.
So that is the final substitution for Julio Cesar Rosero, who takes off a holding midfielder, brings on another striker.
Venezuela still holding on to one substitution. Uchuari had the foul on the play. No call by the referee. This one sent the other way. Darwin gets it back out to his defense. Ecuador running short on time here, although they don't seem to be in any kind of a hurry. Minute and change left in regulation time. Not sure how much the official, the head official, Raul Orozco, will add on. Chuari down the left-hand side one more time. Crosses it low to the ground. This one chipped up. Venezuela trying to get it away. Ecuador trying to keep it in.
It was very casual by Miguel Perales, standing around instead of putting some pressure on the ball, the young 16-year-old.
Machis collects, sends it forward. Foot race to the ball here.
Even in these late stages, about to come away empty-handed, you get a sense that they're missing a bit of urgency, Ecuador.
Anderson Ordóñez. 3 minutes to be added for stoppages.
Enrique Cáceres, the fourth official.
So thrown along the far sideline here as we head into extra time. Ecuador hoping to get a chance to score here. Venezuela really looking to hold on to this scoreline for the following 3 minutes. That's a foul. Potential breakaway is snuffed out. And down on the ground in pain is Edwin Peraza.
His brother Jose coming over to check on him. Venezuela, if this score holds up, a deserved winner, especially for the work they did in the first 45 minutes. Looking like gangbusters in the Under-20 World Cup. Showing their intention to return for just the second time in their history to that World Cup. It is the target. The South American Youth Championship has not been kind to the Vino Tinto in recent years. 2 of the last 3 years, they finished dead last in their group. With this, a brilliant start as they try to repeat defeat from 2009 when they won their group.
Final substitution being made here as Darwin Machis comes off. Coming onto the pitch is Garcia. Victor Garcia. This is football at El Esport. Does have a cap for the senior Venezuelan team. Halfway through stoppage time here. Still about a minute 30 to go. Let's see just a few more seconds added on because of the substitution, but not much more than that.
You wonder how much of an emotional drain that match against Brazil was in the opener for Ecuador. They really have lacked something in their second game out. It puts them in a very precarious situation. And with just 1 point from 2 matches.
Headed on, but this one is going to be collected by Jose Contreras. Sends it up the field. On the near sideline, out of play once again. 30 seconds left now. Doesn't look like Ecuador has it in them. Again, forward, running out of time now. Venezuela looking to waste the final 10 seconds or so away. See if the official will give any time on the field here. We're at the end of the 3 minutes. Cristian Ramirez inbounds, and the official has seen enough. So, after 90 minutes of play, it is Joseph Martinez, 28th minute goal that is the difference here. Venezuela get 3 points in their opening match of the Under-20 South American Championships. Ecuador drops their second match, or suffers their first loss rather, after grabbing a draw against Brazil in their opening match. An inspired performance by Venezuela.
And quite the opposite for Ecuador. They lacked the intensity, they lacked the hunger that they showed against the Brazilians when they were underdogs. And again, it's the underdog that prevails. We've seen Brazil falter. We've seen Argentina falter. In this case, it's the Ecuadorians. And again, we take from this match Joseph Martinez's wonder strike, a goal that's worth all 3 points and more.
That's going to do it for us here. Thank you for joining us for Venezuela and Ecuador, the South American Youth Championships. Stay tuned. Express Extra next on beIN Sport. Kay Murray and Ian Joy. For Andres Cordero, I'm Gino Fuentes. We'll see you next time.
The Spanish League continues on beIN Sport. Atletico de Madrid is moving away from Barcelona. The last draw in Mallorca leaves them 11 points behind the leader. Now, they need to get a win at home against Zaragoza, who has had an uneven season. Atletico de Madrid, Zaragoza, tomorrow, only on beIN Sport.